So you also worked with Don Pachino, right?
Yeah, it's my man.
What was it on a record or an entire project?
I engineered a whole album of Rice and Beans. So Rice and Beans, I mixed and mastered the whole thing with him. And that was because of what happened with me on that Originators track. Like we had already built a relationship. We was hanging out all the time. And then when that Originators track happened where they did me dirty, he was like, nah, I got you. My next project, I want you to run with me. That's what I did. But he was already taking me to studios with him prior to that, like having me engineer for him at different places. So we already had a great relationship. But that's when Rice and Beans came out, I did the whole project with him. And he gave me the proper credit, made sure he took care of me. And he's a stand-up dude, man. It's my guy to this day. Like, he's another one that he don't let the industry and the politics fuck with his way of moving. He moves the way he wants to move. He makes sure he takes care of his people. I always respected and loved him for that.
So you guys are still tight to this day?
Yeah, that's my man. Yeah. And, you know, he's doing what he's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. But we always chop it up about the kids, whatever. He hit me up on the gram and this and that, you know. But like, I used to go to his crib and record, you know. So I would go out Staten, make it happen. I was traveling for him, like, whatever he needed. So that's my man.
Who else in Wu-Tang did you work with?
So I knew Killer Sin from personal things, from living on Governor's Island and all that, and everybody from there, you know, I had to go to school out in Staten Island and Curtis. So I knew him before the music. So then when I met the other brothers, he was like kind of like the glue to the puzzle for me. So I forged a relationship with Beretta 9. It was to a point where Beretta 9 was kind of like staying at the studio, like he was just living there. And, you know, he became family. And then that's how I got down with Ninth Prince, RZA's brother. And then Don P started coming around on his own. He would just come and hang out and make music with me. So I got to know all of them after their first album. And then when the second album dropped, they was actually hanging out with us. And that was 9/11. It was supposed to drop on the day the towers dropped. And that was a big, you know, loss for them because they couldn't drop the album to release the way it was supposed to because 9/11 happened and it overshadowed everything. So from there, we just started making music. And then when the third album came out, like I said, I already did so many tracks with them and built so many relationships with people they were surrounded with. They ended up using one of the songs on the album that I did in Pirate with Falling Down and Ninth Prince. And from there, we was just running, man. So my affiliation with them was just basically with Killer Army, you know. But then I started spinning off from them with Papa Wu. So I would go fuck with Papa Wu at United Kingdom in Bed-Stuy. And then I met, you know, his nephew, Sugar Bang Bang. And Sugar Bang Bang ended up being signed to Wu and doing the Ghost Dog soundtrack. So from there, then me and Bang Bang just became brothers, and we was just working together. I was like his engineer and producer for a few years. So I just started building relationships with whoever, you know, whoever I had the time and energy, and they had the time and energy for me. And that's how that went. I mean, it was at a point where Papa Wu was talking about making me the I think it was the 10th chamber. Because he was like, yo, your sound is different. I like you. So that was a big deal for me, you know, getting in with, because I always looked up to those brothers. They was always like somebody that I always aspired to work with. So it was almost like it was meant to be. And I was really happy at that time period to be able to work with them.
Did you ever get to meet like Method Man or any of the other members?
Yeah. So, you know, Old Dirty, which I love. I love his heart and soul. Method Man. I was supposed to work with Ray because I had somebody that I was working with, but that never happened. That would have been really some fly shit right there. But you know, I met Inspector Deck.
Jizza.
Uh, nah, me and Jizza never really got. No, I never met Jizza. I met RZA on a few occasions. Tried to poly and holler at him. Capadonna, my man was really cool with Kappa, my man Shicey, so he brought Kappa to me, and Kappa just started kicking some real knowledge to me, like some real life shit that still to this day stuck with me. So, big shout out to Kappa for that. And, I was around those people here and there, because of the army, because of other affiliates I knew from Staten Island. Then I met other people that was down with the Wu, like Leatherface, and just a couple other dudes, King Just, so on and so forth. But again, I was moving like the wind, bro. So I was all over the place trying to just make it work. So I didn't really stay in one place too long. But I did have some nice bonds with a couple of them dudes.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the nuts and potatoes of that. These niggas, they was already stars. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
they was all over the place.
So you also worked with Tragedy, right? Tragedy Gaddafi from Queensbridge.
Yeah, so I worked with Trash through the Cuban situation, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ended up having a chance to, Trash's energy is crazy. So I remember him being in the booth and like me just going crazy while he's in there, like, and then his energy would go up another level because of my craziness of just listening to him. And then, we do like 3 or 4 takes. He's like, damn, where that energy went? Like, because that's just the way it goes. Like, yo, you hear this shit for the first time, it's like the illest shit ever. And Trash is just one of those dudes that he's all over the place. But I had a short period of time to work with him. And I wish I had more time to work with him because come on, that's Intelligent Hoodlum slash 252, Tragedy Gaddafi, very inspirational dude, man. And his aura is always like that's something that I think I got from him. My aura's good. He used to always say that my aura's good. And I live by that shit too. Like, gotta have your aura in check, man. Make sure you giving superior to whoever you're surrounded by. That shit comes back. So yeah, if you get to work with him or talk with him, yeah, link me up, man.
I was supposed to do an interview with him, but I gotta get up with him to see if he's still if it's still gonna happen or what. But shout out to Tragedy, man.
Yeah, I always love him and Imam Thug too, man. Like that dude was something else. Tragedy put a lot of people on that had some ill styles, man. So he's just a forefather of a lot of people's style. People forget about that, CNN and just a lot of things that he did that
He's
changed the
been in the
culture.
game for a long time, man.
Long time, bro.
Yeah, and I don't feel like he get the credit he deserves.
Like he's been in the game for I feel like 40 years. Like, yo, he's been doing this
He's
forever.
still doing it, still
Yeah.
doing it.